Section 4 Elucidation of biblical verses, which support the doctrine of absolute predestination. So far, we have analyzed the various issues concerning predestination. Next, we shall look again at those biblical verses, which seem to suggest that the outcome of every undertaking is determined by God's absolute predestination and elucidate their meaning. Let us begin with the following verse. For those whom he foreknew he also predestined. Those whom he predestined he also called, and those whom he called he also justified, and those whom he justified he also glorified. Rom. 829-30. God, being omniscient, foreknows who has the qualifications necessary to become a central figure in the providence of restoration. God predestines those whom he foreknows. Then he calls upon them to fulfill the purpose of the providence. Calling a person is God's responsibility, but that alone does not entitle the person to be justified before God and given glory. Only when the person completes his responsibility after being called by God is he justified and then glorified. God's predestination concerning an individual's glorification is thus contingent upon the completion of his portion of responsibility. Because the biblical verse does not mention the human portion of responsibility, people may misinterpret it to mean that all affairs are determined solely by God's absolute predestination. It is written, I will have mercy on whom I have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I have compassion. So it depends not upon man's will or exertion, but upon God's mercy. Rom. 915-16. As was explained above, only God foreknows and chooses who is most suitable to fulfill the purpose of the providence of restoration. It is God's right to choose a person and have mercy or compassion on him. This depends not at all upon human will or human effort. This verse was written to emphasize the power and grace of God. Paul also wrote,